Welcome to OSM Fencing. I'll be your coach, Ryan McNeil, and this is lesson 2 of Beginner's Sabre. Sabre is a very aggressive weapon in fencing. There's a lot of attacking involved, and for that reason we're going to focus this entire lesson on how to make a good basic attack in Sabre. Now the first thing is you want to make sure you're standing in the on guard position. Now, as you can see, Kai's blade is presented up, so it's different from foil and epee where the point is not facing forward against your target, it's not threatening, but it is angled, slightly leaning forward. This is very important because when you make your attack in Sabre, we are going to see who is extending their arm first with the blade presented as a threat against your opponent. So if your blade is completely vertical, it takes you longer to present the blade as a threat to your opponent. So if you start with it already somewhat advanced, this means when you make the attack, it can come out a lot faster. For our attacks, let's first discuss our target. So the lame on a sabre is larger than that of a foil, but the target is smaller than epee. So it's everything from the waist up to the head, including the arms, but not the hand. So everything that Kai has covered with the lame is our target. Now we have 3 attacks that we're going to be practicing, and they follow 3 specific lines. Upstairs, this is the top of our pyramid. This is going to be position 5. Then the 2 points at the base that create our pyramid, that's going to be the outside line, position 3, and the inside line, position 4. When making the attack, you want to hit with the distant part of your blade. You don't want to be hitting too close to your guard, because that means you're getting too close to your opponent. So we're going to start with 5. I'm in very close already. So when Kai makes the cut to my head, he really just has to use his blade. He doesn't really have to extend his arm because I'm so close. But as I open the distance, he's going to have to extend his arm more. And when I'm completely out of distance, he has to make the same cut with an advance, but he wants to hit before his front foot lands. This means it'll be a successful touch. Now, same thing. We can do the outside line attacking to the arm, and this is going to be position 3. I'm standing very close, so he really just has to bring the blade in. He makes the hit. He can continue making that hit without extending the arm, but as I open the distance, his arm has to come out. When he needs to advance, he hits before the front foot lands. And he can do the same thing with the inside line, so I'm standing really close. He's going to attack in 4. So it's really just bringing the blade in. If I step out, the arm has to extend, and if I step all the way out, he needs to step in with his attack, just like that. The last thing we're going to look at is our lunge, and this is pretty important if your opponent is fast on their feet. Stepping forward as an advance won't be fast enough to catch them. Remember, Sabre is powerful. You need speed on your side. So when you do your lunge, there are going to be 3 components to it. You're pushing with your back foot, or you're kicking with your front foot. But before all of that, your arm needs to extend and your blade needs to present as a threat against your opponent. So as a quick demonstration, I'll just show you against Kai. If I want to make a lunge, I'm pushing with my back foot, kicking with my front, while my arm kind of pulls my body along for the ride. So the arm starts first. That's 1, 2, and 3. You make the hit. So you want to make that lunge successful by hitting before your front foot lands. So if Kai's standing on guard, he's going to make the cut to position 5. He's going to extend his arm first. Then he's going to push and kick. He makes the hit, and then he recovers. He stays in the on-guard position, and he can make the attack again. He can do the exact same thing to my outside line in position 3. So if I am presenting, he has to make sure he is hitting before his foot lands. He's going to lead with his arm. Very good. And same thing, inside line, attacking in 4. If he sees the target, he starts with his arm, and he kicks off with his feet. And he wants to make sure he lands before his foot does. So hit with the blade before the foot lands, your attack will be successful. Awesome, great job everyone. Just a reminder, there is an annex to this lesson. Be sure to check it out, it will help explain everything in greater detail. And I'd like to thank Kai for helping out with this lesson.